I got to figure out how to have motivation to do that. I went to get my coffee and there was like 4 cars at the gym, you know, and I looked through the window and everybody was in there and it was like 6:30 and I was just like, oh my gosh, you guys are so much better than me. So much better.
I just gotta go to bed here. That's what makes it hard.
Yeah.
You have to make the last 5 minutes. And I just had to get it done.
Yeah.
And I did payroll.
Oh, fun.
And I was responding to messages on TMS.
Nice.
Some interesting questions.
Kyle, you keep going kind of muffled where we can't hear you at all.
Yeah, I think it's just it happens to Rennie too when the music's going.
Oh, okay.
It'll be fine once we actually start.
Oh, okay. Because sometimes I can hear him fine, and then other times it's like he just went underwater.
Yeah, it's just because of the music.
Okay.
I went to Oscar's car show yesterday.
Oh, how was that? I saw he was getting all set up for it.
It was good. He wasn't. It actually was a lot. It was a little better attended last year, actually, which surprised me. But it was still good.
Odd.
And Jerome Holland was there.
Yeah.
And so we took 4 autistic young adults, 18 to 22 years old, something like that.
Yeah.
We took them around judging cars.
That's so fun.
So.
Good morning, Samantha.
You're
bright and early with us.
She worked on a fun fire truck.
Yeah. Those pictures were so cool. And I loved Kelly in the fire suit. That was awesome. I've got a ton of work I've got to do on my car show today. That's what my focus for today is. Got to get trophies ordered.
I owe you some dash plaque artwork still.
Oh yeah, I totally forgot about that. Yeah, I totally forgot about that.
Not too difficult, but we should talk about it again real quick.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got to get all my, the big trophies ordered today. Usually April 1st is my deadline. So I've got to get a good count on that for him and get that sent over. Good morning.
Oh, it's bright and early.
Bright and early. Look, the sun's not even up yet. How is everybody? It's what?
Really foggy.
Oh, yeah, we've got rain here today, which is so crazy. It's been so nice. We had like 73 degrees yesterday. It was beautiful. And now it's rainy today, which I'll take it. I will take it.
Wow, 73, huh?
Yeah, that's really hot in Boise right now, I promise.
Well,
Really
it was
hot.
warm when it was like 42 degrees there the
Yeah.
other day. I was like,
Kyle and I were out washing a car in 42 degrees and it was just fine.
yeah.
It was just fine. That's awesome. Well, good morning, everybody. So here we are, the big Monday following TRCMA. Everybody's back home and settled, and now we can finally talk about what we've all been working on behind the scenes for months and months that has just been so much fun and so crazy. So, Kyle, I will have you talk to, I'm sure everybody has heard or seen by now, but we can finally talk about what we released at TRCMA on Thursday.
Yeah, there was a lot of stuff that we released at
Mhm.
TRCMA at the rag company. There's still stuff we haven't released yet.
Right.
There's still other cool things coming.
Yep.
Which
We held a
can't
few
talk
things
about.
back.
I know, which is still exciting because then we get to figure out how that comes out.
Yep.
But a few highlights. Obviously, I'm wearing my PNS off-road shirt.
Yep.
Last year, we started developing an off-road line, and it was an awesome experience to not only present it, but also to be a part of the development and design and the look and the smell and the color and all of those elements that go into designing a line. It was a lot of fun doing, and I'm really happy with the quality of the products and the results that they bring. Like all of our products from PNS, whether it's in the professional line, double black line, the chemtrail line, the off-road line is also that type of quality product.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
let's run through them real quick. I know
Yeah.
For anybody who missed it, we have the full presentation still on the Rag Company YouTube channel if you go to the Thursday afternoon presenters, but let's run through the products real fast and talk about some of our favorite aspects of them.
Yeah. Well, you want to start? You want to share?
Yeah,
one?
I'll hold them
I'll
up.
share one?
Yep. I'll
Okay.
hold them up. So first we start with obviously our wide open wash, which is
Yeah, our green, wide open, all-terrain wash.
Yeah.
I like calling it wide open wash because it's kind of like wow.
Yeah.
Is our acronym for it.
Yep.
Just
Yeah.
a nice quality soap.
So cool. Yep. Works great in a foam cannon. And then we've got, let's see, and then we'll go to Mudbuster.
Mudbuster.
Super cool. Yep. So that's just the all-purpose cleaner. You can use it on wheels, anything, tough, dirty, grime. Super cool. And let's
then
see.
I want to show full
go
set.
ahead. Go ahead.
This is like my favorite product in the line.
That's probably my favorite. Yeah. I have two favorites.
I love
this is
the color. I love the smell. Self-leveling, total around dressing for all the off-road materials. It's really nice. A little bit leaked out in the bag, so my hands smell like creamsicle right now, which is awesome.
That's funny.
Go ahead and show. You can show pit stop.
Yep.
Our quick
Love the color
detailer.
of this label. It looks so good.
Yeah, that color looks really good.
Very good.
Happy
Cool.
how that
So this is so this is the quick detailer, super easy to use. This is just for those, when you take a pit stop and need to kind of clean things back up, right? It's also great to just clean up after you've washed it, any drips or anything like that. So it's kind of just your all around quick detailer, which is really good.
Yeah, it's going to have some lubricity. It's going to give a little bit of gloss.
Yep.
And then we have our cockpit cleaner. It has an amazing smell.
Yep.
It's going to be perfect for all the interior plastics, vinyl, leather, all the surfaces that you want to be gentle but also clean, and just leave a nice, not dry look. It's going to leave it nice afterwards. And the smell's pretty amazing. It's going to linger, and it's going to be really pleasant.
Yep. Love
So
it. I'm super excited about that one. It does. It foams really well. Like Hans said, he loved how it foamed. And yes, it foams really well, wipes off easy. It's just a really nice product to use. We really, really like it. So yeah, we're super excited about the OffRoad line. We
but that's
are
not all
just
we showed.
right. Yeah.
You and Rennie debuted some products.
Yeah, yeah. So first, in the double black line, we're super excited about this one. We have Legend came out in a 50 ml bottle. And so this is just because we had high demand for it. So, everybody loves Legend. It's been out for almost exactly a year now. And, for those of us that are in production shops or just, use it all the time, we wanted to be able to offer it in the larger size, just like inspiration. And so this will come single bottle, no box, no applicators, no door jam stickers. So now all of that stuff is available individually so that you can tailor it to how many you feel like you need. So we're super excited about that. That is going to be a game changer. I know so many, just love Legend, and we put it on all the cars. So we needed a bigger size, which we're super excited about. So we had that. And then let's see if we can do this. So we have, obviously everybody knows Undressed is one of Kyle and I's favorite products. And so we have Undressed. And so we came out with Dressed. Goodness, these are so hard to know which way to turn bottles.
Yeah.
So now Undressed has a little partner, which we have been working on this again for several months because, as we know, there is a huge silicone shortage. I know we talk every single episode of Food Maker and Coffee about dynamic and the fact that it's missing, as well as products across the entire industry, right? It's not just affecting PNS. So we had this product that we felt like was a really good silicone alternative. It's a non-hazardous polymer-based tire finish. So this goes on, if you saw the presentation, our favorite way to put it on is with the flag tip brush. You just spray a couple sprays. We found you don't need a ton of product, really just 3 to 4 sprays per tire is plenty. And then you just brush it on with the flag tip brush and let it set. So when it does go on, it's pretty shiny, but then it totally sets and it's kind of just that satin shine. And I have now, so Kyle, I haven't even told you this. So we did my wheels and tires on my personal car on Wednesday of last week. And then we went and drove in the dirt, not on purpose, right after we put it on. And then it's still on my tires. So today it's raining. It'll probably come off today, but it's been, 5 or 6 days now, and it looked great all through the weekend. And I don't know how many miles I put on my car, but I know I went through an entire tank of gas. So, we drove all the way out to Fruitland and back, and it still looked great on my tires. So I was super impressed with it. And it's just a really great alternative. I'm really excited about it, especially for those who just want to be able to dress their tires fast, and have just an alternative, right? It's just a really great alternative to the silicone base.
We tested this product how long? 6 to 9 months?
What's been 6 to 9 months now?
Yeah. And I had the same gallon. Sorry. I had the same gallon for that whole time. And we were putting it on vehicles constantly, on RVs, on semi-trucks, on regular cars. We tested it on so many vehicles. And that 5 days, maybe to 7 days is kind of the golden hour, depending on how you use the vehicle. But that's all, you really want. This is going to be the alternative for those people that are doing large quantity vehicles, portable dressing that's ready to use, pour it in the bottle and go. It doesn't take a lot of product to dress a tire. You don't have to completely soak the tire in it. And so, I'm super stoked, super happy with it. It's kind of fun. I was making TikToks with the product and no one had any idea what the product was.
Right.
But a lot of people were giving compliments and about the tires, and no one had any idea that we were testing this. So it has a nice cherry smell to it. That's one thing I'm happy with. That was kind of our feedback when we were doing testing, is we wanted a fragrance that was pleasant and noticeable. and it definitely is pleasant and noticeable. So
Yeah. So two last things. One thing is because we just want to mention this obviously goes with undressed, and the reason why we paired it with undressed is because this is kind of a vital step. So if you're switching from any other type of dressing, especially a silicone-based dressing, you definitely want to strip all the old dressings off of the tire to have the best results. So make sure you use undressed prior to to dressed, so that you get a really good bond and all of that good stuff.
you
So
want to
didn't want to
strip the
leave that.
tires
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
all of that old
Yep.
silicone and grime for
Yep.
the best bonding with dressed.
Yep. And then the last thing about dressed and undressed is if you don't follow our TikTok, you're going to want to head over there. So on, what was it, Saturday, we released a contest for undressed and dressed. On our TikTok, there's a super funny video that Kyle and I did that where you just, all you have to do is tag a friend and like the post. To be entered, it's going to be a random draw for a gallon of each of these products, as well as the pre-labeled bottles. So you want to go there and follow the instructions on that post. We're going to be doing the drawing or the giveaway. I believe it's next Monday, correct? The 11th,
Yep.
Or is that this Friday? I don't even
That's
know my
this
days.
Friday.
Okay. And so we will be posting that up on Instagram today, but it's out on TikTok as well. So wherever you want to follow that, you can definitely enter both places. So head to TikTok today, get entered there, and then watch for
Follow
the
us
post
on
TikTok.
TikTok.
Yep. And I'll probably post it as a reel after we're done here this morning. So that's just a fun giveaway. We haven't done one in a while. So we thought, what better time than to get some of these new products in people's hands. So we're super excited about it. So we hope you all love the dressed to go with your undressed. We are super excited about it. So that was basically my story, was using the dressed, was just kind of the follow-up that I was really impressed that it still looks great on my tires. And, obviously I've used it plenty before, but I was impressed this time, one, because we drove through the dirt. We made a total mess out of, my wheel wells, everything. But then two, just that I've driven so many miles now since we put it on, and it still looks great. So I don't know that I have pushed it to that limit before. So I was actually really impressed with that. So that was kind of my story.
Usually we talk about what the cars we detailed, and I guess we can do that. But the cool thing about this time is we were together when we detailed those cars.
Yeah.
So in order to get ready for TRCMA, I got there Tuesday night. Actually, man, it was a full week of PNS detailing products. I did a certification course with Rennie on Monday, and in Idaho Tuesday. You and I prepped cars and got things ready and filmed content Wednesday.
Yeah.
We met up with Rennie and we all prepared for Thursday. We had a couple cars to get ready. We did yours. We did a Hellcat, right?
Yep.
And then we did Mike's car.
Yep.
And we just, got these vehicles ready. We made sure that we were prepared. We took pictures of all the products. It was there was a lot of stuff to do, but I think the coolest thing, even though I didn't do it, was watching you and Rennie ceramic coat with Soul on the hood of those cars, because the rainbow effect just showed on camera so well. If you didn't see TRCMA, go and check it out. It was the coolest video under their super high-end cameras. It showed up so good. And I was standing over on my side of the studio, and I could see the TVs, and it just looked amazing. So
so cool.
I would totally go over to the Rag Company and check that out.
Yeah, for sure. If you missed it, you definitely want to go watch the replay. It was awesome. So good. And so this is so funny that this just came in from the Rag Company, because I was actually going to give them a huge shout out. So the Rag Company says, huge shout out to Sydney and Kyle and the entire PNS crew for coming to TRCMA 2022. You guys rocked it. So then Chris Woolman followed up with saying, is it officially announced TRCMA or TRCMA? I've said it both ways. I heard them all through the week saying it TRCMA. So I'm not sure, but I always, in short, call it TRCMA because it's easier. But so maybe I'm pretty sure that's Gabe that's writing in from the rag company. So let us know how it's officially announced. But what I wanted to say was, before I saw this comment come in, was just to give another huge shout out to the rag company. I mean, what an unbelievable, to be there behind the scenes and see that the work that they put in is just absolutely amazing. Like that was truly like the best part. Like that was so fun to watch. You almost don't even realize the cameras are there or the camera crew. And I'm not even sure how many were in there, what, 9 or 10 of them. And they just like, it's just like a dance. Like it's so impressive what they've done with that media center, with the media crew. I mean, just top notch all the way across the board. It was so amazing. They did such a great job.
They made it easy to just present. And even though it is, you know, nerve-wracking to go live and speak. I mean, we do it every other Monday, but there's just a lot more people.
Yeah.
And am I frozen or you can see me?
You're good.
Yeah, you're good.
On mine just froze all of a sudden.
Okay,
so you know, to stand there and talk, but the amount of vehicles we had in there was unreal between the your two cars that were in the white room, and there was 3 side-by-sides. Was it a 4Runner and a dirt bike? There were so many moving parts, and everything was storyboarded, ready to go, designed. It was a lot of fun. Cool. It was really cool.
So cool. Yep. It was awesome. So good times, good times. So Chris, should we get into questions now? Are we ready to go?
Yeah.
I think there's
okay. I wasn't sure if we missed anything going on at PNS. I know we've got training next week. Is that right, Chris? Next Tuesday?
Yeah, I'm going to say yes.
Yes. So we've got training up at PNS Hayward. And then Kyle, you have a couple more classes this month, correct?
Yeah, I'm going to do a RV polishing, more on the fiberglass restoration on Monday, it's the 12th. So next Monday at 3 p.m. on Claire, as long as the weather is nice, and just kind of give some tips and tricks how to use our products. And how to bring back the gel coat fiberglass. And then Chris and I have been working on getting dates set for other Southern California distributors for events. I have one coming up at Hot Wax beginning of May. So lots of stuff going on in my market, in my area.
Awesome.
You know, this is a little inside baseball, I guess, but I think we need to talk about either an events page on the website or utilize one on Facebook a little better. I think we're at that point.
Yeah. Yep, for sure.
And then Sydney, aren't you going to go to? Are you going to Salt Lake?
I'll be in Utah at the end of the month. I'm pretty sure we've got it all set. It's just that last Saturday of the month. I think it's like the 28th or 29th. So watch for that. I'm sure the advertisement for that will come out here pretty soon. So I will be going to Budco in Salt Lake, Utah to do a coding class. So that will be super fun. All right, so let's get into questions.
Yeah, I have a first one here.
Cool.
Here we go.
Awesome. All right. So I recently moved out into the country and I hate the dirt roads killing my clean car. Would you recommend these items or should I stick to my traditional PNS Pearl Wash that I did when I was in the city?
Well, you know, Pearl's going to be a great product for you if you're talking about your car. I'm not sure which vehicle we're talking about. It's not going to be any different as far as lifting dirt and protection with the wide open wash. The difference is it has a little bit more protection behind it than Pearl. Pearl's a pH neutral product. Wide open wash is we have a rust inhibitor additive to it. So that was kind of the point of this line. And this line is pints and gallons. which is great. It's geared towards it's usable for professionals, but geared towards the enthusiasts. And I think professionals are going to love the fragrances and the scents and to use it all. But I would say go ahead and finish up using your Pearl since you have it, and then give the off-road line a try. I want you to use what you already have, but it won't hurt it in any way. It may actually, I think you'll like it a little bit better than Pearl if you're out there in the dust and dirt. Be careful any dressings going down the road like our full send. You're going to attract a little bit of that light dust, because even though it doesn't have a greasy feel, you're adding some body to the surface, which anything attracts dust, So I hope that answers your question. Do you have anything to add to that, Sydney?
Not really. I mean, I think you're going to like either one. I mean, I think the obvious factor here is that you'll still be living on a dirt road. And so, that's the only thing, is it's not necessarily going to, defend against the dust. I mean, both of them are going to be great options. You can use either, but it's not necessarily going to keep the dirt off your car. Unfortunately. I mean, there's nothing out there there's nothing out there that's going to do that, but it might, I mean, it'll switch things up, and it sounds like you might be washing your car a little bit more often. So it gives you options to change up smells and experiences and feels. So, yeah, I think you'll totally love it.
I would add, though, if you have a vehicle that you're going down a dirt road all the time, take it somewhere and get it really clean, and then ceramic coat it.
Yeah,
and make your life easy for washing. That way you're just power washing the dirt off, you're soaping it up and blowing it dry, and then you can go right back down that dirt road again and make it dusty. But it'll make the cleaning part a lot easier.
Yep. Awesome. William in with, today is the great day to have a great day. It is. It's a Monday, and hashtag Sydney Fan Club. Thank you, William. It's always interesting to see who William's going to love that week, but I think I'm on a roll here.
We know where his loyalties lie. It's okay.
Kyle, is OffRoad Line available now to buy? Absolutely. Yes. Yep. So the distributors will start getting it in. They were able to start ordering it the other day. The rag company does have it in stock, and then obviously it is in stock on the PNS website. And a fun fact about the PNS website is we have it in a kit with all 5 products, which is pretty cool. So that's been super popular so far. Yeah.
It's kind of that try me size, give everything a try before you commit to buying the gallons and the bottles.
Yep. So the kit is all the pints, the 5 products. Yep. So absolutely available, and we are excited for it to start hitting the market and hearing all the feedback. We're really excited for that. So let's see, we've got lots of good mornings coming in, it is a good morning. Hans says, how many gallons of water did you guys have to spray towards Luke to keep the stock safe? Actually, we did pretty good. They kept Luke locked up in a separate room. But yes, Luke was great. So for those who don't know, Luke Berge and then Alex Dewar, who I always want to call him Bucky because that's his username on Instagram. So Alex Dewar, who was the TRC Grand Ambassador of the Year last year, were all there. And so they got to partake in the entire week, which was so great. It was so great to have fans there and stuff. Just to be able to interact with them on a personal level was really great. So we did keep Luke locked away in a separate room during our presentation.
Oh, he was a lot of fun. A good time with him.
Yeah. Hans, we do have a cat on the loose. So, this cat right here is Bristol. She loves Zoom. She loves to be on camera. And usually she is milling around during Bead Maker and Coffee, but no matter what, when I'm on a Zoom meeting, she is 100% present at every meeting that we have. For whatever reason, she just loves to be on camera. So she figures out exactly where she has to place herself.
Yeah, isn't
So
that weird? Like she wasn't
yeah,
behind you, she's just right off
yeah,
your shoulder.
yeah, every time. She's so funny. So that's Bristol. She is a hoot. All right. So Jim says, good morning. With all the traveling for PNS in the month, how many vehicles do you get into your own shop for detailing and coating? So Jim, we both still work full time, 100%. I, usually have travel or PNS days, several days a month, but there's a lot of weeks where I'm still 5 days a week. I only take one car a day, but I still have several days or several weeks where I'm 5 days a week. Some I'm 4 days a week. But somehow I still squeeze it all in. Some days
Yeah.
I have to do, some days I have to do 2 cars in a day, just because my customers get, I get backed up and stuff, but we make it all work. It's honestly amazing. I know it seems like maybe we never work, but we actually both still full-time in our own businesses.
Yeah, it just kind of was a trade-off.
Mhm.
I have employees, so most of the time, like last week when I was away a lot, my guys
Mhm.
worked without me a lot.
Mhm.
My business may not be the same when I'm away as profitability every day,
Mhm.
but it's still doing well. There's some days when I'm away and working, and my guys are
Mhm.
working, so it works out
Mhm.
well. But definitely has become a lot of work managing both.
Mhm.
Because Sydney and I do work on the social media together, and she does things that I don't do, and I do things she doesn't do. I do events down here in Southern California as the sales rep, so that's a lot to do.
Mhm.
So
Yep.
we're still. My guys did an airplane last week and a bunch of motorhomes and a few cars. It's hard being away. I think I was in Sydney's house when my guys were dealing with a
Yeah.
nightmare of
Yeah.
a truck that looks like the sprinklers have been hitting it for 3 years
Mhm.
straight, and they got the water spots off the paint,
Mhm.
but they were baked into the paint, and they were having a difficult time explaining it to the customer. The
Yeah.
customer couldn't understand all the damage that was done to his paint. Well, I guess he just bought it, so I don't know why he bought the truck in that shape. Hope he got a great deal. Anyways, I get to go look at that truck today and
Oh
see what I
gosh.
can do to help him.
Yikes.
Yeah,
Yikes. So yeah, so I would say, 4 to 5 a week. All right. So Ivan says, for headlight restoration, do you prefer wet sanding or just dry sanding?
I do dry. I utilize the 3-inch dry sanding discs. And I've done both, but dry for me works well because I can just blow all the dust away. Wet sanding leaves that milky residue that runs down the bumper. You got to wash it away. So dry
And I
works
actually
for me.
do a little bit of both. So I start 2 levels. I do dry and then I switch to wet on my last one. And just like Kyle said, that's what works best for me. I enjoy wet sanding. So I kind of, came from that. And so for me to switch to dry on the first 2 steps, that was kind of, away from what I knew. But I actually prefer that because it is easy to get the dust away. And really, when wet sanding with those first 2, that's when it makes that horrible mess, right? So when I'm wet sanding on 2 or 3,000, it doesn't make that big of a mess. And I like the finish that I get out of that. But yes, I use the 3-inch. I use a flex tool. I love correcting headlights. It's super fun. Um, and so I think you just figure out what works best for you. But I like both dry and then wet.
But
So, yeah.
I prefer taping really, really, really well.
Oh yeah, I
Even
put a
though,
lot of tape on. Yeah.
yeah, even though I
Yeah.
can do it with very little,
Mhm.
I have
Yeah.
my employees over tape
Yeah.
because I am constantly teaching them how to do it.
Mhm.
And I want them to be proficient at it. So I'd rather them be safe than sorry.
Yeah. Yep. All right, next one up. Bill says, I have legend topped with Soul and a couple gallons of Bead Maker. It's coming up on a year since I coated it. How do I know when it's time to retop it? This is a great question. So obviously with all coatings, we recommend yearly maintenance. The yearly maintenance is going to depend on what the condition of the coating is. So I generally, as I would say most often, as for coating maintenance, I do Bead Maker and a clay towel. And I find that that cleans the paint and then applies a new layer of Bead Maker. And that's generally speaking, that's all they need. But then some, like we had that red Challenger that was in there. It was ready for another coat of Soul. And the reason that I think that was because it had had inspiration for 2 years and we did not put Soul on last year. We did do the coating maintenance, but we did not do Soul. So I think you just kind of have to gauge it for what you think the paint is ready for. And because I don't think that the coatings obviously don't need a new coat of Soul every single year by any means. So most often I'm just doing Bead Maker and clay for yearly maintenance.
Yep, I agree.
And and especially if it's really legend and it was just done a year ago, I think you're going to be good. Yeah.
Yeah. For vehicles that are kept outside, used and abused, work trucks, those types of things that I've ceramic coated, I'll go to do a clay, a paint prep, and I'll top with Soul. But that's when I am starting to notice the water show is just not where it should be. But if it's beading really, really well, then just Bead Maker it or clay it and Bead Maker it, like Sydney said.
Yeah. Yep. The sun is trying to come out outside and it keeps changing my lighting in my house. That's funny. All right. Next one up, we've got Rick. We appreciate both y'all. Thank you for doing what you do. Thank you, Rick. We appreciate you as well.
Thank you, sir.
Rick is awesome. Cynthia. Okay, so I found a mystery substance stuck to the wheel well cladding around a pickup truck. I think it's road salt or brine. Can't seem to scrub it off. Any recommendations? That's a tough one.
Yeah, without seeing it, it's hard to recommend. I don't know if did you rinse it? Is it breaking down at all? Road salt. I don't deal a lot with that in Southern California. So I don't know how power washing it would help, or chipping at it, or even using something that's acidic to break down that salt. But I kind of want to see what this mystery substance is. It's kind of
send us pictures because there's a huge difference for how you treat things that are on top of the paint or kind of stained into the paint. So send us pictures to our PNS Instagram messages and we'll see if we can't help you there. That's hard to say without seeing it. And mystery substance is always fun.
Yeah, this is cool.
Yeah. Yep. All right. Brent says, are there any supply or product concerns?
Yes and no.
Yes and no. I think that what I see often across the entire industry, not just with us, but is that you think something's not a concern and the next day it is, right?
Yeah.
Some things you just don't see coming. So obviously silicone, all products that contain silicone are a concern. I wouldn't say that there's going to be, a huge supply issue, but always a concern. Keith just popped in, always.
Yeah, always.
I think that it's always evolving and, and then things will be a concern and then the next day they're not. So it's been kind of interesting to be on the backside and see what goes on. And I mean, I think sometimes it's completely unexpected.
Waiting for raw materials can be not so much a massive problem as much as it's just it's annoying. Like we're always waiting for something and then it has to go in production, be made. So sometimes it slows the process down. We're waiting for a product. I know we can say that Kyle's Boat and RV Restore a few months ago was waiting for a key raw material. And then it came in, everything got made, it got sent out. So it's just slowed the process down. And like Sydney says, you think everything's going fine, and then just one little thing pops up and throws a wrench in the gears. So, but PNS has done a great job, Dave and Bob, of ordering raw materials. And, you know, even to the fact where we're waiting on certain raw materials for some new products that we can't do anything with until we get them in. So it's always going to be a concern, even in good times. And but everything right now we're doing well with.
Yep. And we just try to pivot and adjust when necessary. And that's obviously where Dressed came from. You know, we saw the silicone issue, you know, a little bit ahead of the game. And so we went to work on, you know, what's an alternative? What is, you know, so that we made sure that we had options for, you know, certain issues like that. And so that's where, you know, we went into high gear on Dressed and wanted to get it out, you know, just trying to pivot away and be creative about how we deal with the shortages in some areas. So
got to give credit
you know,
where credit's due. Keith is the one that kind of identified that problem 6 months ago, and was, you know, we already knew it was a problem, but we knew we could solve it. And that's when we started testing products. So that made it gave us a direction, just like, you know, don't have dynamic, but we have other products that work well. It's just we don't have that product in stock. So we've had to just to point you guys in different directions of what we think would help you in your business or in your own detailing for your own vehicles, and give you ideas on how to use these different products. All right.
Let's see, hold on.
And you're welcome. Thanks, Brent. Brent. My hand's falling asleep.
All right. Casey says, I had the pleasure of meeting Sydney at the ceramic coating class in Redmond, Oregon. It was an amazing experience. Thank you guys so much for doing the in-person hands-on training. It's amazing. Thank you. Yes, that was a great class. And I think this is great because I can't encourage everybody enough that if you can go get hands-on training, it really does make a huge difference. And, you know, that is something on the education side. It's something that all of us are so passionate about. You know, we just want to make sure that, you know, detailers are successful, that they're, you know, that they have good options and that they know how to use the products and, you know, have different tips and tricks to make their detailing journey, you know, just amazing for them. And so, you know, I appreciate everybody that comes out to our classes. It's something that we are super passionate about, is, you know, getting the education out and, you know, sharing our ideas and tips and tricks. It's just, we love it.
It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun seeing where people are at in their polishing skills and their coating skills, identifying their needs, and then helping them get to the point where they'll be happy. In the class I did last week with Rennie, there was so many different skill levels, and it, you know, it's funny is when we know the guys that are going to polish well right off the bat, and then there's the quiet ones that completely surprise you. They listened to everything you said, they sat back and they polished and blew me away. There was a couple of guys that really stood out and did fantastic polishing, and they were just the most humble, nice guys. The ones that come in cocky are usually the ones that are like, all right, well, we got to redo that spot. And by the end of this, they've kind of calmed down a little, and we just had a great time, and they identified their, you know, their strengths, and they were killing it. So it's a lot of fun helping and being a part of that certification to just help everyone be better and make more, you know, money doing what they love.
Yep. So side note, if you are looking for the trainings that we're doing, Chris does a great job at keeping our link trees updated in both at TikTok, Instagram. Facebook doesn't have a link tree, do they, Chris?
No,
I don't think they do.
no.
But anyway, so he keeps those really updated with all the trainings that are coming up, all the options, all the trainings in Hayward. You can see all of Rennie's trainings up in Big Bear. We try to keep all that information kind of at fingertips. So, if you're in the spot that you're looking for a training, make sure you check those out, and we keep them updated very often. So that is where you find all of our training information, is in those link trees. But like Chris said, we are going to try to get a tab added to the website for that.
Yeah, just even send Ian a text while we've been sitting here on that one.
Cool. Awesome. Perfect. All right. Next up, we've got Samantha. What is the difference between dressed and wipe and shine, besides the fact that it's gel versus liquid?
Well, dressed is a silicone-free alternative, a polymer-based, and wipe and shine actually has silicone in it in its gel form. It's kind of more the actual type of silicone when it's that clear, thick dressing. So that makes it different. There's dressed is a very, very thin viscosity, and wipe and shine is a very, very thick gel. Wipe and shine can be put on a wet tire because it will blow right through that water and overtake it, where dressed, the tire needs to be completely stripped, clean, and dry.
Yep. And then
there's some good questions coming up.
And then follow-up question from Josh says, what is the lifespan of dressed versus the silicone-based dressings? So if we take wipe and shine, because that's the one that I normally use on my vehicle, and I'm using my vehicle because, I get to see it the whole time. Customers' vehicles, we send them on their way. We have really no idea how long that dressing lasts on their tires. So if I'm just looking at my own, with wipe and shine, I get, on average, if it's dry, clean outside, nothing crazy, I'll get 5 or 6 days, and, probably dressed, I'd say I might get 4. So, I mean, it might be one less day, but that's me on my own vehicle paying attention. I don't think that customers as a whole pay much attention to how long their tire dressing lasts, but I mean, it's right there. And, right now I wouldn't feel like I needed to redress my tires right now. And it's been, several days, and we drove through the dirt. But they still look really good. They're still nice and black. And then the other great part is, even as the dressing wears off, we still have a nice black tire because we prepped it so well with undressed. So, it's I'm going to say it's probably going to last a day or two shorter than a silicone-based dressing. And that's why the industry, years ago became such a huge fan of the silicone-based dressings. And, we all still love that, but we needed an alternative, and this is a really great alternative. I'm really enjoying using it. So
I have very similar results, but in different ways. When I put dressed on my truck, it lasted weeks, but my truck sits unless I drive it to the gym. My truck is sitting most days, unless I'm going to do a training or something. It's in my driveway backed in. My van, on the other hand, I saw a solid 5 days, 6 days, but both of those tires are a fatter tread tire. When I put dressed on my wife's low profile tires, it lasted about 4 days, and she drives every day to school, every day back, pick up the kids, all of that. A good probably a couple hours of driving a day. So there's differences in the tires. There's differences in the environment. I'm in a drier environment. Not really going off into the dirt. I don't dress my tires on my truck very often, actually, because I do take it off in the dirt, and I don't like that. So one thing I can tell you about dressed, it almost like evaporates and it just kind of leaves a less residue behind, versus silicone, when it kind of loses its shine, it's still kind of there and collecting grime and debris, where dress just kind of, it just went away. It wasn't there very long after that. So give it a try. Let us know what you think. I use it on a fleet every other week, and it's been doing really well for me.
Yep. Cool. All right. So Han says, what scent is in Dreammaker? I keep sniffing it, but I can't figure it out.
That is a question you will have to ask Dave when he is on the Rag Company podcast or here the next time, because there's a few fragrances we ask him what they are, and he can tell you the fragrance, but it doesn't exactly smell like it because the chemical tweaks things.
Yep.
You know, the fragrance in Bead Maker in its raw state smells a little different than when it's mixed in Bead Maker. That mango sunset smell. So interesting enough, we've always wondered, you know, the scent in paint gloss.
Yeah.
And when you're told what it is, it's not.
And I don't smell that at all.
I think it's going to smell like. So
yeah. Yep.
I can tell you Full Send is orange creamsicle.
Yeah.
And I can tell you Cockpit is like a citrus, like lemony fresh smell. But it's hard to identify sometimes.
Yep.
I have no idea, Dreammaker. I want to find that out.
I think there's some watermelon in there, but I'm honestly not sure what the combo is. Okay, so then Han says, will PNS be at Waxstock? And if so, who will be there? So I think it's safe to say that we're working on it. We are, you know, we're working on it. As far as who's going to be there, I can tell you that it won't be me.
Yeah, Sydney and I won't be there, but other people definitely has been discussed who's going.
Yeah. Yep. We're working on it. So check back in 2 weeks and maybe we can make that official announcement. But we are working on coming to Waxstock for sure.
Sydney and I may be somewhere else.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of events going on that same weekend. Oh, Keith says it is official. Okay, good. So we can say it. So it is official. Rennie and Bob are going to Waxstock.
And
I suppose I should have known that.
Can we say where we're going, Keith? Is that official yet? Let's see what he says.
Yeah, Keith, pop in and tell us if that's official.
You guys got to tell us when we can say things. We just keep everything on the DL until, you know, we don't want to get in trouble for, you know, dropping the info too soon.
Yeah.
We'll leave that for other people.
So William asks, replying to Detailing Success, did Kyle really get undressed? How did I miss this? You got to go to TikTok. It's all over TikTok.
I thought you were like the TikTok man there, dude.
Yes, he did, and it's all over TikTok.
Me. Yeah, you'll laugh.
That's funny.
Okay, so Sydney and I, we can say that we will be with Keith in Lexington, Kentucky, at the Southern Detailers Conference.
Yep. It's going to be a good weekend. Everybody everywhere. That'll be fun.
Yeah.
So if anybody's going to the Southern Detailers Conference, that's where we will be. Make sure you come and see us. We are excited about that. I think I saw that registration opens here maybe this week for that event. So watch for that. So Samantha says, can you go through the different tire dressings, an example of uses and why? Obviously not just what the two of you already talked about.
Yeah, it's a great question.
Yeah.
Why don't you start with your favorite? And then
so I'm going to go through the couple that I use. There's obviously more that PNS makes, but I'm going to go through the couple that I use and why. So I'm going to start with Wipe and Shine. This is probably my top used tire dressing. I really love it. I love the application of it. So I use it on anytime I'm coating a car. That's my go-to. Mainly because, you know, you go through all the prep for coating a car, and I've usually either done the paint prep process or I'm just about there. And so by that stage in the prep, I don't want anything else aerosolized in my shop at all, because I just want to eliminate all factors of anything settling back that I miss. So I choose to use the Wipe and Shine so that I'm, you know, putting it on with no aerosolized anything else from, you know, once I've paint prepped, nothing else gets sprayed in my shop. until I'm done with the coating. So I choose that. And also I consider that our premium dressing. It has a really premium look, feel, finish. So that's my choice for when I'm coating a vehicle. Then I use, dynamic or natural finish type product that is a silicone based product. I still use that if the vehicle has black wheels, just because I kind of use it as a black wheel conditioner. It's super easy to wipe off, turns them nice and black again, finishes out the detail. So I still love those products. Natural finish is great for fender wells and things like that. And then I obviously use Dressed so Dressed is great for kind of like my fill-in areas. But then I want to go back to Wipe and Shine real quick. I also use Wipe and Shine if I'm putting tire dressing on, like at the end, because I tend to wash the car if I'm just doing a full detail with like a clay and seal. And if the tires are still wet, I always choose Wipe and Shine, just because that one can go on wet tires, and it's probably one of the only ones that has the best results. So Kyle, I'll let you take the rest of them.
Yeah. So Samantha, you opened a can of worms or a Pandora's box with this one. Between Wipe and Shine, which I agree with Sydney, I like using that on vehicles that I've just ceramic coated for the exact same reason. I've actually used it before I coated the vehicle, and then I covered the tires with my tire cover, and then did all the coating, and then pulled it off, and I was done. So I've done that before. I really like Odyssey, and the reason why is doing a lot of vehicles that are outside, even though we've scrubbed the heck out of them and we got all the browning off and all the old dressing off, the tires still just have that kind of off color. It's not really black, but it's just not brown either, kind of orange. It brings back the tire and makes it look a deep black again. So I really like Odyssey. The reason we have Odyssey is because we needed a dressing in our Chemtrol line. And so Odyssey was developed for that. A dressing that is similar and was not in Odyssey or in the Chemtrol line would be Shine-All. Both are dilutable, but not very dilutable. I don't recommend going, quite 1-to-1. And so I pretty much use Shine-All ready to use. Those are kind of our ready to use dressings. I really am excited for the day that Dynamic makes a triumphant return, because that highly dilutable, hyper concentrate type product, it's just amazing. I miss it, but I have my own little stash. It's not a little stash either. I looked at my warehouse and I saw how much I have. So me and my guys are going to enjoy it for the next year.
Yeah.
I have enough to get me through.
That's why I laughed. I was like, let's see if we can answer this question without using the word dynamic, but no.
Never can. You never will be able to. But I will say this, natural finish will look good on tires naturally, but and it looks great on trim. Dressed is just for tires. Dressed is just for tires. I've used Wipe and Shine on tires, and I've used it on trim, like the bumpers or something. It works fine with that too. But all the other dressings, they have their places. Natural finishes place is inside. That's where it does the best. Trim and plastics, door panels, leather, vinyl, all those things, and maybe even exterior trim. That's where you're going to love natural finish. So, and we have other dressings too. That I could confuse you if I talked about the other 4 dressings or 5 dressings we have. But if you're a detailer, can't go wrong with Odyssey, Shine-All, Wipe and Shine, natural finish, and now Dressed. Those are kind of the core products that are very, very popular. So I'm not going to talk about the other ones because I will confuse the heck out of you. Products that are geared towards the car wash industry. That's why. So we got a lot of products and not a lot of time, or a lot of questions and not a lot of time left. Let's
slam through some of these. So great question, Tony. Do you use Dressed on things like floor mats or strictly tires? No experimenting. Don't experiment here. Only use it on tires. Only use it on tires. The floor mats. So Dressed wants obviously clean rubber, and it's going to take a more porous rubber, and the floor mats are probably not porous enough to have Dressed settle. So I would not use it on floor mats. I would stick with natural finish on floor mats. Because when you start using Dressed, you will notice it goes on very shiny, and it almost like beads, and it takes what would we time it about 10 or 20 minutes for it to fully settle. So I would only use it on floor mats. If you have really porous trim, you could try it on that. Have you used it on trim, Kyle?
No, I didn't have good success with it. I did try it in the wheel wells and like suspension, and it worked fine. But that plastic that's in the wheel wells is so tight. You know, it's a very hard plastic. There's nothing really for it to grab to. And so, I mean, it made it look good, but I don't think it was going to last very long. So really it's just going to work great on tires or rubber. That's about it.
Yep. Just stick to the tires for sure. Cool.
Thanks for saying no experimenting. I like that. Some of you, I've done that in the past.
Don't experiment with this one. So Sarah asks, is Dressed similar to Brilliant Blue? And I am not familiar with Brilliant Blue, but my gut tells me no. Because is Brilliant Blue like, is that like the heavy silicone?
DOC compliant tri-dress. But I think Brilliant Blue has silicone in it, so it's not similar. It just looks like that.
It's the same color, but totally different. Totally different. And then we've got, does bead maker need to be diluted? No.
Nope. Yes, stick with full strength bead maker. You want all of all the protection in the world. And if you want to know some really cool tips or talking about bead maker, you got to go watch Rennie and Sydney's part of our I guess our TRCMA presentation.
Yep. Cool. And then David says, can you give me a run through on the off-road line? I was in for TRCMA and was sold, bought the whole line. Oh, I got it. He was sold and bought the whole line. So just like the run through of what products are available.
Yeah, we did at the beginning of this Q&A and there. If you have specific questions about products, I'm happy to elaborate. But maybe let's see if we have time at the end, because that's going to take a bunch of our time to go through all of them again.
Yeah. And you can always, David, you can always go back to the Rag Company YouTube channel. And I know Anthony and Kyle did a fantastic job of breaking down every single product. They spent about 45 minutes on that. So go back and check that out, because they definitely went through, I mean, every detail of every single product on that. But yeah, super excited about that. All right. And then we've got Bill. Tire Talk reminded me of another question. Will Undressed foam out of an IK foamer? And if so, what dilution do you recommend? So absolutely it will. It works very well. And when I did it, I want to say it was like 1-to-1. It wasn't, I didn't want it super diluted because I really wanted the Undressed to do its job. So I think I did it at 1-to-1. I wouldn't go any more than that. It did make a very nice foam. And the benefit, of course, here of the foam is the dwell time. So it does work, and you can absolutely do it. I would just say play with the dilutions, see how you like it and what level of foam. At 1-to-1, it did make it, pretty shaving cream type foam, but it worked great. So yeah, absolutely.
Try and keep it just on the tires. That's what it's meant for. So don't go and spray the whole, it's not brake buster. So that's why if you want some foaming, what I've done is gotten a foaming spray tip for my, my bottle, and I've just sprayed it. Because I think the IK may have a wide pattern that you're going to get it all over the wheel, or So just think of that. Make sure you keep it on the tire and the wheel wells is fine, but don't get it all
Yeah.
over your rims.
Yeah. So what I did when I've used it out at the IK is I sprayed the wheel with Brake Buster or Iron Buster first, just so that had the layer of wheel cleaner on it. And then I went, again, trying to focus just on the tire, but I did pre-spray the wheel cleaner. And Josh said, Josh chimed in here, Josh Pearson said he uses it straight, so full strength out of an IK foamer, and he felt it was amazing. So yeah, you can definitely try that too. Just like we all say, try to keep it on the tire.
And just a couple of really good questions to finish out with.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, Josh says use it straight out of the IK foamer. It was amazing.
Yep. Cool. All right. So David says, I guess what I'm saying is, being in a farm country, the trucks are filthy. What line would be good for that? Oh, okay. So he got the off-road line, and he's just wondering what, for farm country trucks, which line would be better?
Well, you're going to use a lot of the Mud Buster and the wide open wash to get all that junk off the vehicle. The off-road line is geared towards vehicles that are getting dirty, more excessive than just daily driver dirt and grime from our streets. It's meant for the dirt, the mud, the silt, and there's a lot of oil and grease and stuff out in the dirt, so that's what that's for.
Yep. Yep. So either one's going to be good, but I think you'll love the off-road line for sure. All right. Then we've got Mike. So what's your best product to help eliminate smoke smell?
That would be Odor Dock.
Yep. Love the Odor Dock. If you guys haven't tried one, you got to try it. It's awesome.
Yeah. Do a full interior detail, clean every surface, the vents, the headliner, everything. Fully let it dry, make sure it's dry, and then run the Odor Dock. Put it in the vehicle, let it begin, let it recirculate, and give it the full tire. How long is Odor Dock? 45 minutes?
I think it's 45 minutes. Yeah. So just follow the directions to a T. Definitely not one of those products that you want to just do it on your own. Read the directions, follow it to a T, and it will work perfect. It's a really, really great product. Really, really awesome. But like Kyle said, the most important thing is you want the car fully clean before. So you're not putting it in with the cigarette butt still on the floor. Like it has to be, you have to remove all the, the matter, and then you can
the layer of just that smoke that has, because then it will get into the pores and clean the rest. Yeah. Otherwise that layer is kind of protecting the smell.
Right. Yeah. Awesome product. All right. So Tony says, well, my client for today just canceled on me 30 minutes before my appointment. What do you guys do when you suddenly have the day to yourself? Well, at this point, I get kind of excited. To be honest, I get kind of excited if I have a day off to myself. But I feel you. I totally feel you. So I used to freak out. So I think a couple options are, I always try to keep a short list for people that want to move their appointments up. And I know 30 minutes, when it's that day, that's really hard to do, to replace a customer, because usually people aren't, ready to go. But so I would call somebody from my short list, or I would take that as a day to, seek out education and, check out videos on YouTube from my favorite suppliers or, distributors, educators, things like that. I would take the opportunity to clean my shop out and just kind of get everything reset, organized. I would just make myself productive for the day. I know that, when I have a car in my shop every single day, sometimes it's hard to catch up on, just cleaning my space, cleaning my office, as I call it. So I would just, figure out other things to move yourself forward and be productive for the day.
Yeah, there's a lot that goes to it for me. If someone canceled on me 30 minutes before an appointment, I have employees, and so 30 minutes before their appointment, my guys are already at my house and we're getting ready for the day. So I do a couple things. One, I utilize a detailing app So I'm going to ask the customer to reschedule the appointment. If they just want to cancel and not reschedule, I'm sending them a cancellation fee, because it's already cost me money. And they already had a reminder 24 hours ahead of time. So for me, that's where I start. Then I start calling my other customers. I try and move up my appointments, or, see if there's anyone from my kind of waiting list that I can move up. And if all else fails for me, I will end up having my guys clean the work vehicles, send them home early. I will call distributors and kind of get on the PNS sales rep route that day then, and make the best of it.
Yeah.
And maybe end up going to the gym again and enjoying my day, or like Sydney said, learning something. So there's a lot of things you can do. That's generally what happens most of the time. Sometimes you need a day off, and it's a perfect time to go and do something for yourself. And if you had a great week the week before, or you've had a great, months of work, sometimes it's good just to go and veg and reset. Maybe work on your calendar, your schedule, your website. So I hope that answered your question or helps you deal with the situation. We've all been in that situation. It's very frustrating. But and if it's a ceramic coating job and they're canceling, well, I already have a non-refundable deposit, so we just got to reschedule the appointment. That's how I do that.
Yep. So just work on the business or self-care. You'll be good. All right. So Samantha says, is the off-road line ceramic safe?
Yes, it'll work fine on ceramic coatings. Mudbuster is probably the most aggressive product in there, but it's going to be great for the bottom rockers on any vehicle. It can be diluted 10-1. So if you have ceramic coating, go ahead and dilute it, and make it a little less aggressive, and it'll be fine.
Yep.
Wide open wash won't hurt the ceramic.
Yep. Right. Andrew says, is there going to be a POS available for some storefronts on the off-road line? I'm next to a motocross track, as well as doing overlanding, and looking forward to what this line will bring. Kyle, do you know about that, or is that one for Keith?
So right now it's available to distributors. If you're a storefront from, and work with a wholesaler, that should be available. I don't know if it's on our storefront order sheet yet, or if it's going there.
I gotta Keith will chime in on that too.
And but we already have distributors that have ordered it. It's a different model than the rest of our lines.
Yep. And then David says, I'm new to your podcast. This is the weekly thing. So thank you, David, for joining us. We very much appreciate it. It is bi-weekly. So every other Monday, we go live on Facebook and YouTube at 6:30 Pacific, 9:30 Eastern. And so bi-weekly. And we hope you join us again.
Yep. So when we wrap up in a minute, we won't be here this Monday, but it'll be the following Monday. Also, Keith said it will be
so the off-road line will go into a POS program. Yep.
We have what we call the Bead Maker Lounge. It is an email that we send out every other week, right before. It usually goes out on Thursday, right? The Thursday before. And
yes, the Thursday before. Yep.
Yeah, the Thursday before. It usually has tips, tricks from Sydney and I, a message from one of us from PNS, whether it's the owner or the chemist or Keith's corner of the world, or Rennie, and maybe we get Prentice in there. It's just trying to educate. So if you haven't yet, you can go and sign up for that. I believe it's in our link tree, and get that newsletter. That way it kind of reminds you that Bead Maker and Coffee is coming in a few days.
Yep.
Cool. All right.
Good times.
Well,
All right.
thank
Well,
you,
it's about
everyone.
time to wrap up today. Thank you guys for all the questions. We appreciate all the questions. We will have more fun stuff for you here in 2 weeks. And I know we might have some other announcements in 2 weeks. So make sure you tune in. I know we've got some special other things on the horizon that we're working on. So thank you guys. Have an awesome week, and we will see you next time.
Thank you. Have a good week.